We use the full flat of our hand, our palm, including our fingers, to strike the front board to get a bass sound out. Now, it's very important to relax your hands when you do your strokes, just because when you're tense, it's really hard to do anything properly, especially when it comes to any physical work, which is what the cajon is. We're going to relax our fingers, so there will be a bit of spacing between our fingers. Remember to keep your thumbs pointing kind of downwards and natural, so we don't have to point our thumbs upwards. Where we place our stroke is right up here, to the side. This is where our ideal bass stroke is. If you see the edge of my palm over here, this is where the top edge of my cajon will meet. That top edge is situated right there. Try not to strike your bass lower than that, especially as you go through this journey of learning how to play the cajon. If you play it where the edge of the cajon is over here, you'll find that you hit yourself over here and you might actually get some bruises over here, which is something that happened to me as a beginner. If that happens, it's okay, but try to practice in front of a mirror to make sure that you have your hand in the optimum position for all of your strokes. Getting a really solid foundation on the super basics is going to excel your learning as you advance on to more difficult strokes and difficult things on the cajon. So make sure that you get everything right from the start, so that you don't have to unlearn really bad habits later on in your cajon career. The movement that we utilize to strike our bass comes mostly from the arm and especially from this elbow area. So we move forward and we strike the bass. We use a slight bit of a bouncing movement, especially as we start learning, so that we learn not to deaden our resonant sound. Kind of bounce our hand off of the front board to create a nice resonance. Let's try that with the left hand. So it's almost like a swimming action. We're kind of moving forward and bouncing it off. Now, obviously, a lot of this is going to be a bit over-exaggerated, as we do when we start training our muscles to do something that it's not used to doing. You will see that the same principle applies, just in smaller movements, as you do start playing the cajon more regularly. Let's try and do a few strokes together. And when you do practice, I would suggest having a mirror in front of you, making sure that you play your basses in the right position as well as your highs, and keep a really good technique throughout all your practicing sessions. That's how I learned. Again, I want to stress how important it is not to tense your hands. That's very uncomfortable. You can't flow, you can't groove, you can't barely even get a good sound out of that. So remember to relax your hands, just bounce it off. And also remember that our bass strokes is played more with our lower arm or forearm, whichever you prefer to call it, than our wrists. Let's move on to our snare sound.